Hey everybody. So I haven't done a Hockey 101 video in quite some time now. We're going to do one now, and today we're going to talk about hockey slang, or just terms that you'll hear hockey players and people around the game use, but you might not exactly know what they mean when they say it. If you're new to hockey or haven't been in a locker room or heard these terms before, they might get a little confusing. So I'm not going to go through every single hockey term ever because that would take forever and would be way too much. But I'm going to go through some of the more common ones that you hear a lot, ones that I even use on a pretty regular basis. Even just in life, I'll use these terms. Um, so let's get going here. And the first one is apple. Apple is just short for assist. So when you see, for example, on Twitter, when a team scores a goal, the team will tweet, goal, they'll be like goal scored by blank, and then they'll have, apple, they'll have literally the apple emoji with the name next to it. That means they got the assist on the goal. So apple is just a short term for an assist, not even a shorter term, just a different term for an assist. So it's like, what's his name lights the lamp, and so and so and so and so pick up the apples. That means they assisted on the goal. Bar down. Bar down means any goal that hits the inside of the crossbar, because obviously you have the net with the two posts and then the crossbar across the top. If it hits the crossbar and goes in, it's bar down. It's a bar down goal. So those are usually really nice goals to watch. They make a nice ping noise when they hit the crossbar, and then they go in, and everyone sellies, and it's a good time. Well, I might as well do celly because I just used it. Celly is just short for celebration. So when you score a goal, you have to have a good celly ready, a good celebration ready. And it can be pretty much anything. There are good cellies, there are bad cellies, but any sort of celebration is a celly. Bender, I use this one all the time. So traditionally, bender means someone who can't skate, like their ankles bend when they try and skate, so they're called a bender. Then you get into the whole taping the ankles thing so that they don't bend. So if you see anyone with taped ankles, they're a bender. But it's developed into really anyone that looks like a dork on the ice or a dweeb, and isn't cool with the way that they look or play on the ice is a bender. Big thing now is this sweatshirt doesn't have hockey laces, but if you tie, you know how hockey jerseys now have laces here? A lot of sweatshirts now are doing the hockey lace thing where they have laces right here. If you tie those, I would say you look like a bender. Like you don't know what you're doing, like a dork. Like you're just a fruitcake loser, whatever. Like it's a derogatory term making fun of someone because they're not cool. They don't tape their stick the cool way. They don't tie their skates the cool way. Like anyone who does anything that makes them look kind of nerdy or anything like that, they're a bender. So you do not want to be a bender. Chirping is just short for trash talk. So instead of saying trash talk or talking shit, you're chirping. You're chirping the other team. You're chirping the officials. Any sort of trash talk is chirping. Flow is long hair, long hockey hair, usually slicked back. A lot of guys have slicked back hair. Erik Karlsson, I think, might be the poster child for flow at this point, although William Karlsson has some good flow. Tyler Bertuzzi's got some good flow now, and there are countless other players throughout the NHL that are really rocking the flow. There's some other terms that mean the same thing as flow. Lettuce, same thing. Hockey hair, long hair. And salad. So it can be called flow, lettuce, or salad. It all means, hair. Generally long hair. And really distinctive style. Grocery stick. So a grocery stick is the last person on the bench who sits between where the defensemen stop and the forwards start. So generally that is someone who is not going to be on the ice anytime soon. Either it's a benched player or it's just a garbage player that isn't going to get any ice time this game. They're the grocery stick, so you do not want to be the grocery stick because that means you're probably going to be sitting the bench the whole game. It comes from, when you go to the grocery store, you put that, the grocery stick between your stuff and the person in front of you or the person behind you to differentiate what you're buying and what the other person is. So that's the term they use for the person who separates the defense and the forwards because they're the furthest away from going onto the ice. Plug. A plug is just a garbage player. If someone's a plug, it means that they're just plugging up a roster spot. They're in the lineup because there's no one else to be in on that spot. They shouldn't be in the lineup. They stink at hockey and they're just a plug. They're useless. Pylon. A pylon is a bad defenseman that usually is slow and often gets burned or skated around. So I like to call Dion Phaneuf a pylon because I think he's has been one of the most overrated defensemen of the modern era in the NHL. But basically anyone who you can easily burn or isn't that good defensively gives up a lot of goals against when they're on the ice is a pylon. Sauce. Sauce is just short for saucer pass. It's a pass that goes in the air, like usually over a defender's stick, and then comes back down and lands in time to hit the forward stick, and then they score the goal, or hopefully score a goal. But it's kind of developed into where any sort of, it not necessarily has to be in the air, any sort of sick pass is called sauce now. So, that's, so-and-so goes bar down after, the sauce from this other player. It's just basically a sick pass. Usually means it's an airborne pass or in the air. But at this, not always. Sometimes people use it just to mean any cool-looking, great pass. A sieve. A sieve is a bad goalie, just meaning he has a lot of holes in him. So anytime a goaltender gives up a lot of goals, they get called a sieve. So that's pretty common. That's really big in college hockey. Not as much of an NHL thing. That's a huge college thing. He's calling the goalie a sieve. So there's that. A snipe. A snipe is usually just a really, really nice shot. Usually top shelf, top corner. Bar down shots people will call snipes. Pretty much any shot that a player snipes it, where it's a difficult shot to make. It's a really, you have a really small window to get the puck in, and they get it just inside the post or just over the goalie's shoulder or whatever. They snipe it. And a sniper is somebody who scores on a regular basis with really good shots like that. So if you're regularly sniping goals, you're a sniper. What else? Suicide pass, or SUI for short, is basically any pass that sets up your teammate to get absolutely blown up at center ice with a big hit. Or not necessarily center ice to be exact, but usually in the open ice. Usually SUIs are passes where the player receiving the pass has to look back for the puck or put their head down for some reason, and that opens up the chance for the defenseman to absolutely light them up with a huge hit and basically kill your opponent. So suicide passes are bad. You do not want to give any suis to your teammates because they will get very angry with you, and they will get blown up in the center ice. Pretty much any pass that sets you up to get destroyed is a sui. And lastly, top shelf. Top shelf just means the upper part of the net. So basically over the goalie's shoulder. Any goal that goes over the goalie's shoulder level is considered top shelf. A lot of snipes are top shelf. Actually, most snipes are top shelf. Bar down goals are top shelf. Just anything in the upper part of the net that you score, you go top shelf with. So that's pretty much it. There's some hockey slang for you. So those are some very, very common hockey terms that a lot of people use. I use all the time. Sometimes on video, sometimes just in real life. I've been around the game for so long and played for so long that I just use them regularly. So if you're new to hockey or didn't know what these terms meant, now you do. And with that, thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the link to our Patreon as well as the link to our merch store are also in the description. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something, and I'll talk to you guys soon.